Hello, guys. This is Alex on the Daffy and Alex show. As you already know, this is where we talk about finances, insurance, and everything about money. So today I'm here with I'm Alex, anyways, as you already know, and
I'm Daffy, you already know.
Daffy. So you see,
So
so
welcome guys, to our channel. Good to have you again.
it's been a long time, and today we have somebody very special. This is the Udogu of finance. Anything talking about money, whatever it is you're talking about, we're here with him today, and he's going to introduce himself. So, welcome to Daffy and Alex show.
Good afternoon.
So, we want you to let people know who you are.
My name is Chuks Emele. I'm a lawyer
Okay.
and also a financial analyst, consultant, and above all, I'm a writer. I've
Oh,
written on many financial books,
oh,
subjects. So that's basically who I am.
oh. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor to have
It's an honor
somebody
to
of your
have
team
somebody.
and
Yeah,
caliber,
these are
on our show.
this is an authority in the field. You understand?
Yeah,
I'm learning, I'm not a finance.
that's not true. He's a guru in the field.
Uh, Actually, it's nice to have you on the show. So,
Yeah.
Daffy, what do we have for today? So, as you already know, we have somebody who is very inclined with finance and
Yeah.
everything. So, we are going to throw out all the stones in our backyard at him so that
Yeah.
he'll trash them if we have
Okay.
questions.
All
So,
right. So thank you so much, sir, for coming on this show today.
Yeah,
So
welcome.
today we'll be asking you, some questions because we want you to help us, educate our viewers. So we'll be asking you some questions that we want to get answers, and they can learn a thing or two from it.
All right.
All right, sir. So what is savings to you?
Savings is like setting aside some money
Okay.
that will yield returns. So the difference between savings and investment is that they are part of savings.
Okay.
But savings basically is where you set aside a particular sum of money or a keep for rainy day in a
Okay.
simple math language,
Yeah.
and then you earn interest on it.
Okay.
So that is money basically. Some people will do dedicating, some do periodically, or some even use certain apps
Yeah.
to deduct from their money, regular money. If you are working, a worker who has earned salary,
Yeah.
you now say this set of amount will go for rainy days. You keep
Yeah.
it for something, whatever you have in mind. So all of them are called savings.
Okay.
But when you put it for wherever else, it becomes an investment. So savings and investment are almost
The same. Yeah. They're so
almost
much
the same,
alike.
how
Yeah.
much alike. But the other one is that it's used for the other one is risky investment. Savings are something that's guaranteed that will give you a particular returns.
Okay. All right.
so one of them is risky.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yeah, myself.
So saving, in general, is putting, money aside.
Yes.
Just saving for the rainy days. That's the simplest
At the end
thing.
of the day, you bring back the capital and the interest.
Of course. So you
So
save
that's
and
saving. Investment is when you expect the returns to be huge.
okay.
Therefore, you take a lot of risk. But savings are guaranteed. The capital and interest will always come back. And therefore, most times they don't attract so much interest.
Yeah.
But if it's investment, it could be high, it could medium, because the risk is how
It's
you.
high. So thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful response. So, sir, can you tell us what motivates you to save?
There are many things that can motivate anybody. One, if you look at the kind of things that face you, rainy day is important, one of the main factors. Or if you have something in mind and you want to stabilize it, you want your life to be stabilized for emergency,
Yeah.
or for a particular something you want, like if you're a student or whatever you're doing, you need, if you like, for example, if you're a parent, your children will be going back to school, they need school fees.
Yeah.
You need, or you want to buy a house, or you want to buy a product, you want to get, then you now feel that you must be setting aside certain amount of money so that at the right time you'll be able to use it to augment what you have. So that's what motivates me. My own is my programs. If I have a program, or if I have household commitment, or you have anything that you don't want to be taken unawares. So there are different type of savings. So if you are saving towards a goal to achieve a particular thing, that's the kind of thing that motivates me. Like for example, when I was my children have grown up though. When time has come for them to go to like in England law school, which is very expensive, around 25,000, their school fees. So from beginning, at the right time, when they finish this phase, you start setting aside some money.
Some amount of money.
So but when the time comes, you augment that with what you have. So that you are not in any way taken aback. Because sometimes the project you have may determine the need for savings. Because you don't want a situation where when the time comes, there's a shortfall. So that is one of the things that motivated me. Household, and then if there's anything I need to do, like a project, if you want to buy a house, and you now know you want to buy it in the next 5 years, and you have an idea of the kind of house you want
to buy,
then that motivates you
to save.
Because what happens in most times is that people wait
till this time
they now begin to
run around.
The idea is that if you are going to rely on mortgage, and that mortgage payment is a particular amount every month, you don't need to wait until that day. You can begin to set it aside and have the bank create what they call mortgage account. So if that mortgage account will be in the next 3 years, will you the deposit you have saved towards your project. Rather than when you now wait and then you now begin to look for deposits. Sometimes you look for a loan, sometimes you look for your own personal income. But if you have set it aside, that gives you one thing it does to the bank to see that you will now be in a position to repay because you have not saving the money. It makes it easy. But because mortgage is not I don't know, it's not developed fully. So people tend to wait until there's a bulk money. Well, there's a lot of things they said in Nigeria by the government, but they're not doing it. Because if they're doing it, it would have been easier to get into the culture. Like, they have a credit corporation. But all these things are something, if they are well spaced out, anybody cannot choose the kind of house they want to live. And after I'll get there in the next 5 years, or I may get there in the next 2 years, and then you start dropping regular savings. That will be like rent in advance. So the two advantages it has is that the bank will be in a position to see your culture, your attitude. They will give you the mortgage easily. So that's one of the things that can motivate. And it did motivate me. Although my own is that I grew up in an environment where savings is a culture. I grew up in the UK most of it. So you can see there are many things that can motivate you. Like one of the things that motivates people across who have family. They have girls. The standard girls will tell you for their wedding they have all these utopian ideas. So they will not choose a cheap hosting place. So therefore, once they are of age, that is something that will come because most times they expect parents of the bride to do all the expenses. So therefore, you don't wait until when you get now says, I want to marry, I want to get
mama. Saving before them.
It's saving before them because that is the next thing that will happen. But particularly these Gen Z girls, they will choose what they want. And if you are not careful and didn't plan very well, the bill may be coming up to thousands because somebody can decide to say, I want to, this is where I'll do my wedding. And then at the end of the day, your last duty for her is to send her off with a good wedding so that it can be, your life will not be easy.
So things that motivate, him to save, his household, and project. You're working, so towards a project, so you check yourself, what you are doing, and okay, this is this is the next step I want to take, and this is how I can save, towards it. So you don't wait till it's time, then you start running around, thinking how to borrow loan, calling people.
Yes. if you can't take a loan,
to pay back.
the payback will be too high.
Yeah.
But you now discover that if you start saving towards it and be committed, you will save a lot of guilty pleasure things.
Can even save beyond, beyond what you've even
So
budgeted.
it's more like having a purpose.
Yes,
When there is
exactly.
a purpose, it gives
There is a
you
need to
the
save.
need to save. So everybody need to create purpose. They need to, and then you need to find out what are those things that can motivate you to save. It should not be any kind of thing. You
You check your
understand?
own
Check
self.
yourself.
Everybody
You
cannot be the
understand?
same. What motivates me might not be what motivates you. So check yourself and know what motivates
What
you to
motivates you to
save.
save?
Know what you want, your purpose. Then you can, find the need to do that.
So as you see, we always bring out smart people who are experienced one or two things to share out one or two things. So you could draft out the motivation.
Yes,
Use it to
take pen
inspire
and paper,
yourself. Do you
jot
understand?
down. Yeah.
To help you. So let's
Okay.
proceed there.
All right, sir. So can you, so with the level you are now, and all that you have attained, can you stay 6 months without working?
Yeah, because it's not a function of what you have built up.
Okay.
As you go along, when you embrace saving, you now discover that the next thing is to have diversified income.
Sorry. So the next stage is what?
Diversified income.
Diversified income.
So you cannot be on one income and expect that can encourage you to save adequately. So first thing now, a lot of things have changed. So therefore, if you embrace them, there are so many. Like I did in my last book, 6 accounts. 6 accounts. That's the title of the book.
I think that's the one you shared, highlighted me.
It will be out very soon.
Okay. So it's
So
coming
these are
soon.
6 accounts means the kind of accounts you need to have. So if you have those accounts in place, you discover that everything that will happen to you will that accounts can take care.
And
For
saving.
example, if you have account for investment, emergency, different types. So that means all those things can take care of whatever that will happen to you without working. Because if from onset you have started relying, these things have been happening in your life. So you can if they're enough, if you build them enough. Because one thing, the strategy which I would recommend to anybody is in a book by the greatest man in Babylon. Anytime you put money in an account, let's just say 1,000.
Yes.
You look for a good yielding account. In one of the books I wrote, I thought over it as a Christian. And I discovered that so many misconceptions about tithes. So I advocated 20%. Your tithing every month should be 20%. Some people say it's big. No, 10% will still go to God. Because most pastors will tell you if you don't do it, you are robbing God. Yes, let's not get into agreement because it's all part of generosity.
Yeah.
The remaining 10% should go to a regular account, your savings account or investment account. If you do that, as you are giving every month and you are giving to yourself, you'll be a millionaire. Because if you multiply how much you have given the pastor, which I'm not saying you should not do, anybody who has his own belief.
Yes.
As you are giving him 10%, you are giving 10% of that amount to yourself. You now discover that you can survive on 80%. Because life is all about what you can take. If you now feel that I can't survive, you because that means you will not cut down on the irrelevancies. But now you check how much if you check how much you have given as a tithe, you'll be the something and you please God, he will prevent devourer, and at the same time you are enriching yourself.
Enriching yourself, exactly.
And that is what most Christians have failed to do. They always believe if you give to God, God is by faith. The first thing the first law God gives is management. It's management. Go and look at the history of creation. Management. When Adam was given a work, and he has to do something. So it's not a matter of a gift to pastor and you expect God and he can't manage. He will not be bothered.
Yeah.
So therefore, what I'm encouraging now, because what you are saying, 20%. You see, I wrote it in the book, I've said it.
Okay.
I detailed it, and the rest of where you could put your money, 20%. It doesn't have to be. So what you are doing now is education.
Yeah.
And people will think education is when you go to classroom. There are so many things product that will never fail, whether there's a crisis or no crisis. So you begin to identify education. It could be yourself. You can even you upscaling yourself. Transport doesn't fail. Transport. But there's a lot of devil in it too. But if you be able to know the real sectors in transport, you make it. So if, for example, you now go to a bank, create a mortgage account every month, because you now know that once they will give you a loan, but you know this is what they use to check your suitability is useless factors. You don't need to go through those factors because they will ask for your grandmother. So quickly, what you do is that you create a mortgage account. This is the property I want to buy. That's the range, 300 million. How much am I supposed to pay every month? If I want to take a 15-year loan, you assess it. They will say, okay, you'll be you'll be paying 900,000 every month for it. Every month you put 900,000. Every month. If you do it for 5 years, have you not 3 years when you're ready? If you've covered your deposit, would I not say they will not give you?
No, they will give you.
Because the reference is there, they've seen this house. But these are the things they discover. So when you are saving at the same time and talking about that tithe, it be towards that purpose. You call it the right thing. And with your tithe and your purpose, God will grant it. Has it failed those who have tithed? No. So you're tithing for God, tithing for yourself. But the pastors will not tell you. Because at the end of the day, you will think that money I'm giving to him, I'm building up something, social capital with God. No, God is not interested in your wealth. It's the effort, what you're doing, the wisdom. But the idea of that is to open the door so that there won't be any devourer. It's not that when there's no devourer, you don't do anything.
You have to do something.
You have to be doing something, and that's wisdom will come. In education, you can even say, okay, education, let me upscale myself, let me save money. I want to go and do masters. Like now, I have done my DBA, Doctor of Business Science, but I saw another one in America on Doctor of Artificial Intelligence. Why am I doing that? Because he watched the trend.
Yeah.
He watched what's happening. Very soon now we're going to metaverse, blockchain. So you want to have a new knowledge. So by the time you finish it, so much skills will be needed. Like for example, I was advising a young man. He did engineering. I said, you want to travel, and you are traveling, flying, going for visiting visa. 2 weeks you will chase around. You don't see what is happening in the world. You want to go to America. Ice will catch you one day.
Of course.
So what is the idea of? Why not plan for yourself 6 months? Save the money and do a course called DevOps. DevOps. They will pay you if you pass it and get certification. American company will not come here headhunt you. Pay you equivalent of $150 and give you option to work remotely. You can stay in Nigeria and be working. Send your family to a house they will give you. Every 3 months you go for meeting. Equivalent of that is 250 million. If you are living 250 million in Nigeria, if you say Tinubu is doing what, will you be better?
Of course not.
How did it happen? That 20% will give you knowledge. Anything you're putting in your hand will give you wisdom. And if, for example, for 1 year, let's just say average salary is 250, you are saving 50,000. 50,000 in a year is how much?
That's 600,000.
And how much is the fee? The fee is 1,000. An Indian company, which is equivalent of how much is 600,000 in dollars?
I don't know how to calculate
We'll put the calculation in the video.
So if you see, that's enough for you to pay what? For the exam, certification, everything.
So, okay, yes, yeah.
And then if you do it and pass it very well, because you are doing something that gives you wisdom, you'll be headhunted. They need to need work permit. They will sponsor it. They will get your work permit. Has your life not changed? That's the idea of this. This is the idea of that. That's the essence of that book. That has given to God, you are saving for yourself. That 10% that goes to church to prevent devourer. That 10% that comes to you is for your own personal development. And these are the why I said education will never fail. Education will never fail for investment. If you invest in these three areas, what people do is that they get involved in things that are not important. You said it rightly, purpose. So that's why they should focus their purpose on these three areas. If you know daily income, daily money. Anybody doing daily money is better than all of you working in a bank. I'm not joking. Because these people, if you look at these simple keke drivers who own the keke, ask them, do you know how much they average a month? A day? 15,000, they do 7 days. Times 15,000 to 7. You will see. And everyday money means that you have money. Your only by the time you take away all the bills, guilty pleasures, your money is finished. You're broke. Paycheck to paycheck. Can you imagine somebody who was in keke? Within a space of 3 months, you will get 3. Is it not transport?
Yes, transport.
Huh? This is the two areas. Education, apart from the one I said about cost. What you are doing nice. It's education because they are helping people. Education is so huge. That's why all these politicians are not serious. If you want to take people out of poverty, it's not giving them fish. Teach them. Can you imagine somebody equipped with all the unemployed for $1,000? How much is it? In a space of 6 months, you have given people life opportunity over 100,000. That's what the Indians are doing, and that's why they were able to overtake many countries. They are the fourth largest, the best school. So you see, investment in education takes different formats. The next book I will tell you many segments. I did it in my book, Time of Crisis. I'll show you too. Because with the thing is that people neglect vital areas. Vital areas. Because once you know the third, like today now, I told you about metaverse, which is taking over from internet. How many people have known what's called metaverse?
Not much, not many people.
And these are the things that have been in existence for 2 years. When it explodes, those who are on the forefront will enjoy it.
Sure.
They can transport, come in different segments. Do you know you can own an airline with a lease? Then you not think those who are airlines, they are on lease. If you know how to document it, they give it to you. You check the requirements. So you can see there's so much in transport. So much. So much in transport that if you want to break it down, you can't finish this.
That's all.
Real estate, you know that. The ones they know is that this has what all this they will say 300 million. I did a magazine called Compass to involve landscaping. All you need to do, because let me tell you, in the next 2 years, all this issue of the way they are doing it, no, it's when you're lazy, because it's global now, everything seems to be online.
Yes, it is.
So days have gone where you begin to say, I want to live in a particular area. It is only you don't have what it takes. If you have what it takes, this status symbol doesn't work. There's places that are cheap, that no more than 20 million. Buy enough, then landscape it. Be a home. Be a home. When you landscape it, because they don't do landscape here. When you landscape a house, it's not less than 40 million. Buy a good car. If you want to go anywhere, there's no point. You are living in, what's it called? Chevron Drive. to go to where it takes you 3 hours. Whereas if you're in your house, everything set up with all the gadgets, with all the transmission app, everything, fiber optics, everything, stable internet. Can't you do your work online? And in the next years or next coming years, the whole thing will change. So those who have not embraced education, apart from the money, you will disappoint yourself. Can you imagine all this job I was telling you, remote? You think remote working will die?
Of course not. It's coming to you take
And
over.
how many people know how to use remote working app? Because Nigerians are afraid that if you allow a workers to do remote working, they will do other things.
They will not work, yes.
But it's not possible because they're ignorant. I noticed it when I traveled to England. My daughters are working in a bank. 5 minutes out of your system, they know.
In 5 minutes off your system,
You
You
know.
know, yes.
okay.
Everybody understands it. 6 o'clock, They don't check their productivity. It was double when they were committing. And they embraced it in England.
I know a couple of people that work remotely here in Nigeria. Even if your system is on and you are not working, they know. They work for foreign companies. If your system is on and you are not working, they'll send a message to you. Why you not? You are active but you are not working.
They give you a task.
They know
and
you must meet up.
You must meet up.
So they
That
know.
will be the new trend because people are beginning to see the advantage.
Yes.
So,
Can you imagine when you have not invested in that? You don't even know the app. When they embrace it, are you find trouble now?
That's me running
Those who are
around.
clever will now begin to embrace fiber optic because that one is stable. So you can see that investment in these 3 areas has so much opportunities.
Yeah.
Not somebody will come and say, I want to open a shop, fashion, food. This is something that diminishing. They are diminishing assets of what use. People have stayed for 40 days without eating food.
Yeah. 40 days or 49.
They want to go and on Friday, today is Friday, they want to go and make noise. And the worst bit of it is the girls. They're not ready to, when I say young girls who are ready, because by their nature, the way God created, and there's a certain facts which I wrote last week for a young girl. But then you look at what God has done, given to a woman, you will not discover that because they don't know who they are, they look for easy way. Although culture has done a lot of bad things, but you can discover yourself and begin to embrace yourself quicker.
Of course.
Quicker. If, for example, as you are now, they say this is the target, easy. In 2 minutes you do it. I did it when I was doing my studies. But I did it not knowing in a structured manner. How did I do it? Insurance broker. I said I want to do it. And I asked God, how do I do it? Give me knowledge, simple knowledge. Every Monday morning I will target mechanic workshops. Before 3 o'clock I've gotten 4. And each prospect is 400 pounds. That's how much they pay because most of them they will sign for life for a long time. So in a day, I made my 1,006, and I will go back to school. I won't do anything again until the next month. Pay my whatever I need to pay to God and pray again, and then He shows you where to go. You get it. So I now use that thing, and I said, okay, so you can see that so many things people can do by way of investment and the way you present these things that will help. It's the same with insurance because the way people do insurance is the old image. But if you not clarify all these things to people, they will see the benefits of insurance because insurance is a bigger industry than banking. Insurance has different products and it's basically a retirement plan. They always say about emergency. It's the people that give you life and also give you some money out of it. How many people are aware of it? But they're telling them life and people don't care. When you know that Nigeria don't care is that because they believe in this WhatsApp group when somebody dies. They begin to make money.
Contribute money, yeah.
This is working.
WhatsApp group.
And somebody will tell me they will not publish those who are. I said nonsense. It's an investment in the dead. Investment in the dead. It's not necessary. People are making money out of it. Some people are even wishing you die.
So they will publish and collect money.
And yes, because people get things upside down. So the essence of all this background information, you can see that investment plays a strong role. Because if you are aware of many things, you will not see where you structure your life. If it in life becomes very easy, because somebody was already shouting to. I say if you bring Judge Bush or whatever, anybody here, it's the same thing. But you believe in God. Where is can you be relying on a human being? If you are doing your tithe, will you be relying on a human being?
Of course not.
You will relying on God to guide you, to give you wisdom. And because you know exactly where to put your money, even if it's little. There's so many things to talk on those areas.
Yeah, a whole lot.
All right, so let's proceed. I think maybe we'll still drag you back so you speak, because in those your books you spoke about annuity.
Yeah,
you spoke about it. So we'll come back to. We want to hit some basic areas that are very.
But the important thing is that you need to know more about retirement plan.
Retirement plan.
Because
so most of the questions here we have answered it. So we're just going to throw questions. That just flows. So can you tell us what would you say? Maybe one thing or two things that has helped you throughout your journey in life, that's brought you to the position you are in today. God. Okay.
I've been lucky. But the important thing, I didn't appreciate it on time. When I finished, let me just say, when I was younger, when I was going to university, I was active. I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
I served months. I was very active. The people thought I would be a reverend father, but I was sincere to myself. I said, God, no, I want to marry. I want to have children.
Okay.
So when they asked me, I was adamant, but I said, God, wherever I am, I will still be with you. My family will be with you. So when I finished university for youth service, because I have always embraced God, it's important. We are like this. Ministry of for youth service, they will ask you where we want to go during our own time.
Okay.
Where they want to go. Everybody say custom. We mention all these beautiful names. So the day I came to work, everybody was say custom. They write it down. So everybody was saying oil company. So the man came to me, looked at me. I said, no, anywhere there's work, because what I need now is experience. They said there's a work for me in the police service commission. Everybody said, why am I going with police? I said, if there's work there, give me.
Yeah.
The man said, come. Do you know that all of them came down to the road? No transport. I was the only one the car was dedicated with the driver.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
I went there to the police service commission beside the number. You know the position they gave me? Say I'll be working as a director.
Wow, as a copper.
As a copper. I said, what does that mean? He said, the office is like this. With a driver, a house, a flat at Ikoyi.
Wow, as a
Ikoyi.
Wow.
As a driver. If I'm traveling anywhere, they give me emergency ticket. I can enter anywhere in Nigeria. If I enter anywhere, they opened it. All the police were saluting me. I didn't know what position I got. Wow. They made me assistant legal advisor, level 16.
It's unbelievable, honestly.
I never touched my copper money because the money was too much. Allowances every time. If I'm going, the first day I went to, the man said, you are going to Enugu to 100 acres. He said, go and give us a thorough in advance. I went and wrote, because at that time I was waiting for my allowance, the last one. I don't know. I couldn't travel. I want my base is Enugu. The man said, you are going to Enugu. He didn't know. I said, God, is this how this thing works?
As in, like magic.
I went in. The day I did my third in advance, I gave him. He looked at it, said, "Do I want to put everybody in trouble?" I thought it was big. Oh. I said, "Can I go and amend?" He said, "No, no, no, leave it. That he will do it himself." It was what I applied for. He did it 20 times.
Wow, that's great.
I said, "I can't do it." He said, "Don't worry, when you come back, I will retire for you." He said, "This is what I want you to do. This area, don't look. This area, now you get out." Meanwhile, he had called the commissioner of police that I'm coming. Then those ones made the arrangement, made their own arrangement. Everything was okay. So I got to Enugu. Police, two orderly, was detailed to stay with me.
God is
So that's why I said God.
God is good.
So we got to Enugu. I needed to see my mom. When I came to see my mom, he was peeping from the window.
Like, who is this?
I said, it's me. He said he went to law school. He went to youth service. He came back with police order. This is not good. He refused. He said, "I will not continue with the work." I said, "Okay, let me finish." And I prayed about it. Though there was a lot of difficulty because I was in charge of the disciplinary committee. We were working with the idea, but they were hated police. Any petition against any police officer is a sack. So the work was too powerful. It was too powerful. You know, when you're in charge of discipline, that's when
You're going to be tested there.
oh, it was. But I left before they could harm me. Immediately I left. I was working on the street. My friend called me. I set up an office in my law practice. I came back to Lagos. I was working on the road. My friend called me, said there's a vacancy in Fidelity Bank. So what am I going to do with it? You know, company secretary is between MD and chairman. They don't appoint anybody. That's how I submitted my name. Chairman and MD was trying to kill themselves. So they said, "Who is this person?" They said they don't know him. That's how I became. When they reorganized, and they say that position is not good for you. It's too low. They make you risk manager. When you have finished your credit, they bring for me to sign off before the MD. Because the account officers were eating money too much and exposing the bank. So I was trained from law. That was when I been from finance.
To finance, yeah.
First thing I did was call credit analysis, all these things. I went to Ibadan, AIT. So from there I traveled, became financial advisor, passed the CIFA. It was very boring. So before I knew it, I went to do masters. How did I do it? I was marketing that insurance and told you. One day now, my friend say you that we are respecting. You are doing mortgage. You are doing insurance broker. Ah, I said that I'm making money. He said it doesn't matter. And I went back to do because of what he was saying. I went back to do my masters in IT with that shish in my pocket. But when we were ready, I had to pay. From there, I now went back. I went to the office. I was applying senior developer. You know, all the developers will be under you. They were doing this in their coding. Me, I was doing. I knew the money was rich, but I wasn't enjoying it. So I now went back to did my MBA. Now barrister because he will come and see people dressed like this, all these IT boys, and you wear your tie. So I said this is not for me. Went back to do my barrister exam. That was how the life. The day I said I wanted to come to Nigeria, because I have not been in Nigeria for almost 25 years. I was contemplating to go to America or come to Nigeria. I said no, I will go to America. But let me go through Nigeria. Because let me see how Nigeria is. I got there hooked. So my friend told me, you know better Nigeria? Yeah, I was the first pioneer company secretary. And that was how I stayed. I didn't want to go back. So everything I've said now, you can see that it's in God's hand.
Yeah.
I never applied though. I've never applied for a job. But they will fish me out wherever I am. So, but when I went to my present passion, that was when I knew God, the hand of God had been with me. Because I've written books now. And I discovered my passion is in books. The more I write, the more I gain knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling happy because that's a goal. Everybody must have a goal. Move to your passion.
Move to your passion.
Move into your passion. Because all these things you are doing, let me work and pay your bills. No. If you're a child of God, God will take care of it. Move to your